Art Pro Gaming. Oh, there's bloopers.
Are we live?
I don't see any. Can you go live to Facebook and YouTube at the same time?
No.
Oh, wait a minute. Live streams.
Where's live
Live,
streams at?
Can you go live to Facebook and YouTube at the
Oh,
same
there you are.
time? Oh, wait.
You see the name of it? We're figuring this shit out.
Can you go live to Facebook and YouTube at the same time?
Oh my god, turn yours off. Turn your audio off, please.
You see the name of it? We're figuring this shit. If you watch the live stream, like I did the same thing like 3 times in a row.
Where is it?
You have to go, like, well, I went to videos, and then there's like a little drop down that says uploads, and it says live streams. Yeah, find it and look at the live streaming picture.
Bite that bottom lip, TJ.
That's whenever I was headbanging. All right.
Let's see. I'll tweet this shit out. Here we go. Boom. Live now. All 12 followers.
I know that you like spent some time like adjusting this, but I'm gonna try to get rid of that glare.
Yeah, I did. And you totally screwed it up, but that's okay. I'll just
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did. Quit looking
I'm
to your
looking
right.
at the screen. Screw nothing up.
Killing me. Anyway.
There we go.
All right, do we want to start this shit or what?
Where's Eric?
I made you put a shirt on and everything. I'm not even going to invite him on. No. Eric will be on here soon. Anyway, everybody, welcome to the first annual, I guess, Ort Bros / Ort Pros / I don't know, we are just talking about games and shit podcast.
Yeah, I'll tell Chris Martin we're on.
That's one viewer. That's what I'm talking about. I'm going to tell David that we're live.
Oh, David loves live stuff.
I'm saying we're live. Spread that shit.
Ow, nothing is that. Okay. I'm going to have to pull up Facebook on my laptop so I don't have to sit here like this with the side of my head and the camera.
Yeah, please
The whole
do.
time.
All right, let's get some people in here anyway. Welcome to the first Ort Bro podcast. We're live. TJ's face is cut off. And it's disturbing. TJ, you want to pay attention? You want to say hi? This is my brother TJ. I'm Ort
Hey,
Bro.
man, what's up?
Oh, wait, TJ, do the intro music.
Oh, yeah.
We officially don't give a shit. I like how it's like 2 watching now, and it's us.
All right, that's enough. I cut it off right in the good part, too.
Yeah, I know.
Close, cancel. Oh, I definitely want to leave this up. Just that way I can make sure my head stays halfway in the picture there.
All right, well, the first thing that I want to talk about that I know Eric doesn't give a shit about is the freaking new Xbox One S.
I don't care either.
I think you might.
No, I'm pretty
You
sure.
don't?
No, we'll talk about it though. I mean, I like the idea of it. I mean, well, do I like the idea? Yeah, I do because it's like a refresh on current hardware. So, I mean, people that haven't gotten into it yet, or people that want the same system but smaller.
Well,
With,
okay, so while you look at what I just typed into chat on YouTube there,
oh, I didn't know we had YouTube chat. Oh,
yeah,
there.
because it's live. So while you click on that and check out why I'm even more excited about it. So I'm going to explain why I'm getting one to anybody that's watching. Basically, Xbox One original is super huge, and I have this freaking shelf that it sits on, and it hangs off that much, and it drives me up the freaking wall. So what did we do? We freaking sold tickets to give it away and gave some money away to a good cause, Hot Dogs for the Homeless, and ended up being able to get most of what it was what it was worth, plus all the games that I gave away with it, and got what right at 260. It was 263 to Hot Dogs for the Homeless at a convention that we went to. So I basically just took that money and I'm going to get the new Gears of War 4 Xbox One S. So I basically just TJ, turn the audio off, asshole.
Sorry.
But one thing is, it's a lot smaller. It can stand vertically, so I can take my PS4 and my Xbox One and I can have them on the same shelf vertically, which will look a whole lot better to the wife, a whole lot better to me. But that Gears of War 4 one, TJ, look at it.
All right, I'm opening it up now.
It's badass looking. The controller is awesome looking on it. The system itself is freaking pretty badass.
So is that the one you're gonna get?
Yep. I pre-ordered it on Amazon as soon as I saw it.
Yeah. Hold on just a second. It's live.
Okay, so TJ's getting his Xbox 360 Gears of War edition, I'm sure, right now.
So, let's see.
Yeah, it's not as good as looking as this other one.
Hold on a second. Let me. All right. Turn off things that are. It's kind of the same color theme, but the. Of course, you don't get the cog on that other one, do you?
Yeah. You get the full cog on the other one, and you get the full cog on the controller too.
It's on the air grates.
Yeah.
So it's more like a blood splatter, but still black and red.
Yeah, a lot like yours.
This isn't a blood splatter pattern. This is just I don't know what it is. Looks like a Rorschach test. But at any rate, I thought this was a cool console. I actually didn't.
That's one of the better looking 360.
Yeah, I actually didn't buy this when it launched or anything. That's one that I found.
The controllers are quite a bit the same.
Yeah, they really are.
On the flipped and
instead of going straight black, it looks like on the new one it's more just hues of red. This is black and red.
Yeah, I like how the D-pad's red on the new one.
Yeah, well, this was one of the thing with this one is it was one of the little spinny D-pad things, so it carried over the chrome D-pad from the whatever they called that controller, the new improved D-pad.
Yeah, but supposedly, so they're supposed to come out with a Halo 5 edition also.
Yeah, it's white.
I'm going to keep that one because the what it comes with. It comes with
Normal white system. So The Halo bundle just comes with Halo 5. It's not a special edition. It's 1 terabyte with Halo 5.
Oh, okay. Well, I wanted 2 terabytes, and that's what I'm getting with mine.
Gears of War 4, 2 terabytes with Gears of War 4, and the special system, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I'm glad that I happened to notice that today because I'm sure that this is one of those things that people will go nuts over eventually, and it'll be where you have to get on wait list to get off of Amazon. Nonetheless, I mean, it says Gears. Pre-order the new Gears of War 4 limited edition Xbox wireless controller that's compatible with the standard Xbox One. Xbox One has features that. Oh, wait. Okay, here you go. Pre-order Gears of War 4 from Amazon.com and get access to the Elite Gear Pack with a vintage Dell character and unique weapon skins. So you're basically getting the special edition of the Gears of War 4. It's kind of like what they've done with the Halos in the past if you order the system. Plus, where was it? Something about being able to download the old games as well. Nonetheless, it's a pretty badass looking system. It'll be fun whenever it gets here. We'll do an unboxing or whatever. But it's just good looking to me.
So, back to the more important thing. Where's he at?
Really?
Yeah, where's he at?
All right, let me get game out.
I mean, I would rather have the Mo than the E, but I'll take the E.
All right, let me game out.
Actually, I don't mean that. Love them both.
Now I gotta change everything up. It looks like shit until I do that.
So aggressive.
And that looks like shit until he gets added. There we go.
His profile picture's so aggressive.
Oh, mine?
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
So, everything working now?
Yeah, we're live.
Oh, we're live. Well, what's the link?
Wow. Wow, Eric. Wow.
Did you send it?
No, I didn't know I needed to. I thought you just knew.
I know. I asked you, is it OrPro or OrPro Gaming? You know, which site are you going on?
It's OrPro Gaming. We're talking about gaming stuff.
Oh my god, you better you just had one friggin'.
There you go.
I got it.
Oh, I need to open the chat back up.
We're talking about.
Yeah, turn off the sound so it doesn't echo
Yeah.
for me, please.
Yeah, he doesn't want you doing what I did.
It was just sitting there echoing.
Wah, wah, wah.
So everybody was going nuts about that NES console, the one that comes preloaded with 30 games.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting it.
What, you sound like a chipmunk trying to swallow something.
What?
You didn't.
Me?
Yeah. Okay, now you sound fine. Your internet went shitty for a sec.
Hey, that's your stuff there.
No, I've got 100 down and
Pretty-
about 50 up.
Pretty sure it's Chicago.
Yeah.
I got high speed internet, and I'm not on wireless either. I'm hardwired in.
You got a high speed internet.
He's hard.
High
Like.
speed.
But anyway, so everybody was going nuts about this NES system that came out. I think it's funny because a lot of the stuff on Facebook anyway is like, well, see, we lost Eric because his high-speed internet.
That's just him flipping us off.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
I
it's,
I don't know.
I don't know either, man. But I like the way they you just look just angry, aggressive, angry.
He
Oh.
does.
Oh,
My camera came off for some reason.
no.
What? Couldn't hear you. Your audio was bad.
My camera came off for some reason.
Your camera came off.
So, Skype sucks. You should be doing Google Hangouts. That's a lot better.
I don't think everybody's asleep. I'm gonna put this up on Texas RGS.
Do it.
Maybe the admins won't get all mad at me.
Aren't you an admin?
No.
I thought you were an
Yeah.
admin.
Yeah, I am.
There
Nice.
goes Eric again. Lost his video.
See now that you now I got to do admin duty here. What's this guy?
No, you don't have to do anything. We're doing a podcast.
Well, these people they want on.
TJ, we're doing a
All
podcast right now.
right. I'll go back. I'll check them out later.
Anyway,
I guess
what-
Chris Martin of all people must be asleep.
So, I want y'all's view on the whole NES retro console, the redo where it comes with 30 preloaded games. It's kind of like the Atari Flashback.
Yeah, but it's actually made by. Well, I don't know who's making it for them, but it's going to be from Nintendo. So instead of it being like a flashback console, it's an actual Nintendo product.
Now, are you able to actually plug in games to it? Is the question.
No.
Well,
Oh,
then-
Chris woke up. Maybe he'll come in here and give us some questions.
Yeah, it's definitely something then that, like someone made the point to me whenever I was making a comment on someone's Facebook post that it's definitely like something that should go in a hotel room or something like that. That would be pretty badass. Go into a
Well,
hotel room and
like-
then it's like 30 NES games ready to
It's-
go.
It's 30 NES games. Think of it.
Are they good games is the question.
Okay. Well, we can pull up the games list and look at the games list if you like, but think of it more of like the flashback system, like you were talking about, but it uses an actual Wii remote or Wii U remote or Wii like remote. It doesn't use.
It doesn't come
Some-
with controllers?
Yes, it comes with one. An extra controller costs $10, but it has a Wii U dongle on it instead of it being looking like an old NES controller port or
that
something like that.
sucks.
No, don't think about it. It doesn't suck because at least you can use the controller on a Wii console. Because most of the time, the controllers that come with them are incompatible with the original systems anyway. It's not,
Yeah.
I mean, the ports may look like the old ones, but they're not. They're usually smaller, or they wouldn't line up. They just look like the old ones, but they're not actually the old ones.
Yeah.
I like to see how those controllers feel, those new controllers that they're sending out. Is it going to feel like the old NES controller, or is it going to be like a cheap plastic?
I mean, that's the, one of those things that we'll have to wait on it to see, what it's like. But
Another bad thing about it is you can't play your old NES games on it, so you got to play those 30 games, and that's it. And they are good games. They got Zelda, the Marios, there's Super C, but it doesn't have the first Contra. Gradius, Balloon Fight. I think Bubble Bobble was on there. But it has a Punch Out, but Mr. Dream doesn't have the Mike Tyson Punch Out. So it's got good quality games.
I don't know. I think I'd much rather just stick to what we know and find some old games,
Yeah. So I'm looking in the chat. There's 3 watching. Is that us, or is that actually 3 people watching?
Yeah, it's probably us.
I don't know. I think I'm getting messages from a couple of people. That's what.
Hey, I'm not so pixelated anymore. I guess I am. I lied.
Your audio sucks.
You get the.
You suck.
Suck these nuts.
I talk to you on Skype all the time and never had a problem.
No, it sounds like this when we're talking on Skype also.
Oh, it does? Well, why don't you
Yeah.
say something?
What? I couldn't make out what you said.
I'll have to get a Yeti.
Yeah, you need to get something.
And I've done other podcasts before, and I was okay there. But that was also on Google Hangouts, too.
Yeah, I probably need to look into Google Hangouts, but this is our first podcast and we're figuring the shit out. So,
You can always count on Chris Martin to talk about male genitalia.
true.
Golly, use the YouTube chat, homie. That way I don't have to look down here.
So, TJ, did you watch The Walking Dead?
Oh yeah.
Have you ever actually... Have you been told you look like Eugene?
No.
Doesn't he look like Eugene? Ryder?
Nah.
No?
Hey, now I have to.
You don't have the mullet, but you got, like, the hairstyle, like the poopiness.
Oh. Yeah, this is me. I just got out of the shower and came in here and sat down. Here. I was told earlier that I look like a Jewish man with the poofiness of my hair.
At least you had her.
I got hair.
I know me, mine it's thinning out.
It's true.
So if this Nintendo was a hit, as mini Nintendo, do you think they'd do a Super Nintendo?
Oh, yeah.
Probably so.
I'd be excited for that.
So back to the topic of this Nintendo thing. Do either of you plan on buying it?
Oh yeah.
No, I won't.
I'm getting it.
I don't know if I'll get it or not. It just kind of depends on what mood I'm in at the time. Whenever it comes out, where I think they could have really hit a home run with this is if they incorporated it into the Nintendo ID and had storage on it to allow you to buy and download more games through your Nintendo ID onto it. But with that being said, it has 30 games and it costs $60, so that's basically $2 a game. So that I think what NES games run about $5 on the Wii Virtual Console, Wii U Virtual Console.
Yeah, I don't know what the price
I
is.
think they're about $5. So, I mean, it's got an HDMI port. The controllers, you can actually use them on your Wii also. So, it's not all bad. It's better than a flashback system. I'll give it that.
Flashbacks don't have HDMI, I don't think. I think they just have regular components.
It's just RCA composite connections off the regular flashbacks. Of course, you're also talking about systems that are, they're the best ones, the Coleco, and then the next best ones in television. The one most people gets the Atari because they think they remember the Atari being awesome, and
The
Atari
television's way better than the Atari.
No, the Atari was the worst of the classic systems.
Well, that's
And I know that
that's
I'll-
why I said
that I'll-
Intellivision's way better than Atari.
Yeah. No, but what I'm saying is well, I mean, yeah, you're right. That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
I never had either, so I don't know how they actually play or what they look like.
Oh man, get you an emulator and download all 5,000 games that came out on the thing, and there's a couple of gems in there that are playable, but for the most part, they're terrible. Like Like I remember the best game that I had when I was a kid was Yar's Revenge, by far, and then Breakout, and that's about it. That's about all I can remember playing when I was a kid that I actually liked. Pac-Man was a complete disappointment because it looked and sounded nothing like the arcade. And then on the other hand, you had the ColecoVision, which was like a hoss of a console back then. Like Donkey Kong was almost arcade perfect on the ColecoVision.
Well, the Coleco mainly came out with arcade ports, it seemed like, compared to anything else.
I loved Popeye. Popeye was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I had Pow Pow on the Atari.
I want to say I had the 7800. I want to say I had the Atari 7800 and had Popeye. That was like one of my favorite games to play. And then stupid paddles broke, and then that's when I got a Nintendo.
Do you have to do anything special to pull up the chat on the YouTube video?
No,
Should just be right beside the video. Yeah.
We've had people coming in and out.
Yeah, I don't know if do you know if the YouTube chat works on mobile?
It should.
Yeah, I should.
Well, anyway, going from old to new, at E3, what did y'all get excited about?
At E3?
Yeah.
Oh,
Zelda for me.
yeah, Zelda was cool. Of course, Zelda and E3. There's kind of a history there. Of
A little bit.
so, but I mean, I don't think that it's going to be. You know, they'll deliver on it. I guess the new Zelda is going to come out for both the Wii U and the what are they calling the next one?
Yes.
NX.
NX. Are they still calling it the NX? So, I guess we're kind of getting a Twilight Princess deal here, where you get it on two different consoles.
Yeah.
I was excited for Days Gone.
Days Gone.
Zombie game.
Oh, yeah.
That looked pretty badass. That's like, I want to get a PS4 now to play that game. And also Friday the 13th, the video game that they're making now.
That's the independent project, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks badass. The trailer, they did like a 4-minute gameplay footage. You can find it on YouTube.
That's the independent project. Yeah.
Hey, how about you turn your phone off?
Well, I'm trying to see if I can get to the. Oh, Chris Martin, look at the bottom of your phone whenever you're looking at the video, not in widescreen mode, and it's right there at the bottom. You click on it, it says live chat. Because I've got an iPhone too.
Well, I'm looking at the chat window on YouTube itself.
Yeah, I am too. But he said he's on an iPhone, so.
Oh, okay. And most people are in bed right now, and they're probably watching off their iPhones.
Well,
All
most
two of them?
people would be 5 people, which one would be Johnny Arcade. There he is.
That's
Chris Martin.
That's Chris Martin, the infamous Chris Martin.
I think he's subscribed to me. That name looks familiar.
Yeah, he probably is. He's at our tables at all the conventions, so I know you met him for sure this last Retropalooza.
Yeah, I sat next to him. I sold him. Was it Rosalina? He wanted Rosalina amiibo. Or did I trade him? Maybe I traded him.
Oh,
Yeah, 'cause he had Dark Pit. I took Dark Pit and I gave him Rosalina.
He might be talking about Robert.
No. I sat next to him. Robert was next to me on the other side of me. I sold him Conker's.
how is my mic picking up?
Perfect.
Is it?
Yeah, Eric's is the only one that goes out every now and then.
He said he had a Samus.
the Samus? I thought it was he wanted the Rosalina that I had Target exclusive, at least at that time anyway.
I wonder how bad the delay is between whenever somebody types something in the chat and we get to actually see it.
I want to say it's like 10 seconds.
Yeah, probably.
Oh.
But yeah, I gave Robert Conkers for 65, which is a pretty good deal because I think they were selling for 80.
Yeah, he said he got it for Lily, so yeah.
And then I bought off him Contra 3, the box and manual, because I already had the game. I got it at the Retropalooza 2, actually.
So are you and Mo coming down for this one?
Oh, yeah.
October, sweet.
Yeah, we're coming down. We're going to be leaving on a Thursday and probably arriving on Friday.
Nice.
And then we'll have the convention Saturday and Sunday, and then we'll stay for 4 or 5 days, whenever Ryder and Laura get sick of us.
Which
So
means
you'll be here for a while.
Well, we get the kiddos are with the grandparents, so you don't want to be too long. Kyle's been crying a lot with his teething, so.
So we got Kyle, Eric. You need to have another kid named Stan and Kenny.
That's true.
Cartman. Eric Cartman.
Mm. It's just how it worked out.
Well, I know if we have another boy, it's going to be Sean William. I think that's what we're going to go with.
Sean William.
Yeah.
You like Sean Williams that much?
It goes with our last name.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So it's like single sounding names: Scott, Kyle, Sean.
It should be Sean Oliver William. Or Sean Oliver Schroba.
Sean Oliver.
Yeah.
That was actually my great grandpa's name, Ollie Oliver.
We'll do Sean Oliver so it's SOS.
Yeah.
Stuck on sand or stuck on shit.
Alrighty. So,
But anyway, let's get back to games.
well, if you want to go finish up on the E3 topic, there really wasn't anything at E3 that was really exciting. I know a lot of people got excited about the new PS4 announcement. Some people got excited about the next wave of Xboxes coming out. The S, which you're getting.
I want
I'm
to
wait-
save space. That's the only reason.
Yeah, because it's so much smaller.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold off until the relaunch, the complete redesign or relaunch. So get the upgraded processor and GPU.
See, I don't think it's even going to be needed because they're doing the whole if you buy a game on Xbox, then you own it on your console or on your PC.
Well, that's only Microsoft games, and it's not all games. So, that's whatever. I mean, it works out for me. Like I got Quantum Break. Whenever I bought Quantum Break, I got it on my Windows 10 PC also, and that's kind of cool because, if I want to play it on my PC instead of going into the living room and playing on my Xbox One. And Johnny Arcade said E3 was balls this year, and I tend to agree with him, and he is right. He also said Zelda was the biggest announcement, and it was.
Yeah, I'm with
It
him.
definitely was.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, every other thing was just like individual games you want to play. Like we got to see Battlefield 1 before E3. Out of all the games, announced, withstanding Zelda, that was probably the one that I look forward to the most. But that's because they're taking it back to World War One.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, one
Same
thing
thing.
is that they announced the new Call of Duty also. And a lot of people are disappointed, and they're saying that they're not going to buy it and stuff like that. But we
Like-
all know that people do three things: they eat, they drink, and they buy Call of Duty.
Yeah. Well, what they did is they announced the re-release of Call of Duty Advanced Warfare,
Yeah,
and you get a free copy of Infinite Warfare with it.
yeah, pretty
That's what
much.
I'm just excited. I want to buy a PS4. I don't have a PS4 or Xbox One.
Yeah, so you're going to have to get one.
Yeah, I get the new 4K technology or the upgraded processor and all that. So I'm glad.
Yeah, see, to me, it doesn't make a big difference since I don't have a 4K TV yet. And I don't see myself getting one anytime soon unless if they just go on an awesome sale. But, I mean, like I said before, the Xbox getting smaller is a big deal for me. And the fact that it can actually sit vertically is really handy also.
Yeah, the thing with the PS4 and the Xbox One S getting 4K video output, it's mainly what you'll get is you'll get 4K video for like Netflix and services like that, and more than likely they'll also be able to play 4K DVD or Blu-rays. 4K DVD, that would be something. They'll be able to play 4K DVDs, but any of the games won't actually be in 4K resolution.
Oh, they say that now.
Well, no, I mean they just won't be. The processors in them and the GPUs in them won't be able to output 4K video in games. It'll be upscaled is what it'll be, just like they are now. Most of the games don't run in 1080p as it is. They run in like 900p or 800p or somewhere in that area, and they're upscaled to 1080p. That's if with the PlayStation 4 they don't upgrade the processor and GPU any more than what's rumored now. The rumored specs for they're not even really rumored. Xbox has come out and made videos saying that the next Xbox upgrade past the S will have a 6 gigapixel fill rate, which puts it in line with some of the higher end video cards on the PC. So you may be able to see some games running in 4K on that system. It takes an awful lot of video. It takes an awful lot of video card to run games at 4K. I don't even think that upgraded Xbox will be able to play most games at 4K because I've got what was until just a few weeks ago, whenever they released the new NVIDIA cards, 980 Ti, which is at the time was a $500 video card, and one of them can run Doom in 4K at 40 frames a second, and that's it. With two of them, I could run it close to 100 frames a second, but it took $1,000 worth of video card to run Doom at 4K. 4K is it's very hardware intensive, so.
I mean, my TV's 4K, and I've seen some 4K videos. It looks awesome.
Yeah, outputting 4K video is not hard. That's why these consoles and stuff, whenever they say they're going to be able to, output in 4K, they will. Video, the home screens, any stuff like that, any 3D games, not so much. Now, there might be true 4K output for some of the PSN network games. Some of the games that aren't as hardware, not as hard on the hardware. That's a possibility. But I mean, you don't have people that don't play PC games. They're not gonna. You're not gonna know. But they're not gonna be true 4K. They're not gonna be able to play the games in true 4K.
One of these days, I'll build myself a nice gaming PC.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the way to game now is going to be PC, especially with Xbox making their Microsoft games where it's both playable on the Xbox and on the PC. It's going to kind of kill some of their revenue going towards the Xbox for sure. And then I think they said something about their new console, the Project Scorpio, being upgradable. You know, I mean, that's basically you're buying a PC that's just kind of like a Steam box at that point.
Well, Chris says that 4K is all right, but if you have a really nice clean 1080p signal, you can't really tell the difference. Come over to the house someday, Chris, and I'll let you play the Forest Moon indoor level on Star Wars, and you'll be able to see a difference.
Yeah, I can see
Definite difference.
Yeah, there's definitely a difference.
Until you actually sit down and start playing 4K video and playing 4K games, like true 4K games, like Doom looks amazing at 1080p on the PC with Nightmare settings enabled, which is, you know, ultra settings turned to 11. And then playing it in 4K, there's a definite difference. The 1080p is clear on a 1080p monitor, and that's without a doubt. But whenever you start playing something in 4K, it's just like playing stuff in 1080p versus 720p. You have more real estate on the screen, and the pixels are smaller, and everything gets a lot more defined. It gets a lot sharper. You can also get away with not running as much anti-aliasing whenever you're running in 4K versus 1080p.
I just can't wait for sports to be in 4K. I think that's the thing they're going to do.
Like right now, you can get the UFC fights in 4K through the Fight Pass right now, but only if you have a Sony TV.
Yeah, I got a Sony TV.
So there you go. You can watch UFC in 4K anyway.
I
So, huh?
I wouldn't want to pay for it though.
Yeah. So pretty soon you'll start getting sporting events in 4K. It's probably going to be mostly through streaming services, I would imagine. I know that the satellite companies have plans for 4K video. I think DirecTV is kind of ahead of the game on that one versus Dish. But it's, it'll just be certain channels, and maybe eventually there'll be an ESPN 4K, and you can watch crappy ESPN coverage of something in 4K. Johnny Arcade says 240p all the way.
Well, problem is the internet. They're still treating internet like it's a luxury, and when it's really a necessity. So right now, people should just have free internet for now. But to do the 4K stuff, like streaming-wise, you should have fiber. And right now, I know Google Fiber is in the Chicago area, at least for me, but not near my area. And there's other fiber companies coming around too who are going to put, Comcast and all these people to shame, because right now I got 80 megabits per second right now, and I'm paying over $120 or something like that for internet and cable, is where you can just get fiber for $70 a month.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a no-brainer.
Oh yeah.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Google Fiber now has the TV option. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. But at that point in time, you don't even have to, if you just have any fiber company and say that you're getting a good, clean fiber connection of 100 megabits or more, which fiber is actually 1 gigabit, is what it can easily get up to. There's the new streaming services like the PlayStation TV or whatever they're calling it.
Yeah, where you can
PlayStation
get
View.
you can get HBO, you can get
Oh, you
all
can get
these
you
you can get
cable.
pretty much anything cable
Yeah,
on it.
yeah, and Sling for $20 a month through Sling.com, you get 30 or 40 channels. I mean,
which is most important.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm seriously considering whenever the contract's up for my dish, to get rid of my dish and just use my internet to watch. Because I mean, most of the time I find myself watching series on Netflix anyway,
Yeah.
and I've got Hulu.
Do you guys know about that one where you can get all the free movies and everything else on? It's
Hey guys, sorry, but can we get back to gaming? Good God,
uh
ridiculous. We
Well,
we,
this-
we can talk about TV
I mean, this
shows
really
afterwards.
is. It really is kind of gaming related because all these
We've been
new
talking
con-
about internet speeds and TV.
Okay, first off, the new consoles get on the internet. You basically have to have the internet to actually enjoy them. So the faster your internet, the better. And they can all play TV. Microsoft, I'm sure, just like Apple, will soon have their own TV service coming out. You know, Sony's got its own right now. I mean, this is all.
But that's TV. It's not gaming.
Yeah, it will be part of gaming though.
Unless if you're talking about a TV show that you control one of the characters. Let's talk about gaming. This is Orc Pro Gaming. Let's talk
Okay,
about
well,
gaming.
what if we're talking about a live action Shadows of Mordor?
Dude, okay. We could talk about that. We could totally talk about that.
I think there's actually like a rumor of them making the Shadows of Mordor, either a TV series or a movie. I don't remember which.
And I would totally watch that. Actually, talking about that, so they had that Shadow of Mordor comes under deceptive marketing scrutiny by the U.S. government. It's all based on YouTubers reviewing this game and only saying good things about it because that's what the contract said with PewDiePie and other like big name YouTube celebrities, right? And from what I'm reading, they're not getting Warner Brothers isn't getting hurt too bad about this because, as we all know, it's whenever a company comes along and says like, "All right, Midwest Retro Gamers, we want you to review this for us. We're going to pay you this much to do it." You have to disclose that as a YouTuber. Well, they basically told PewDiePie and whoever else they gave it to, I'm not saying who else, they gave the game too early, but they basically tell them like, you must say good things about it and don't let anybody know that we gave it to you and we're doing this whole deal with you. But what ends up is that they basically get a little slap on the wrist saying, "Oh, well, you know, just don't do it again."
Well, first off, I hadn't heard of this until you brought it up earlier, and so I haven't really got to look into it or anything. But
Well, it's the FTC guidelines.
yes, it goes to deceptive practices and things of that nature.
Right, and they're put there for a reason and a good reason. It's so that it's basically like, especially someone like PewDiePie, they're big enough to where, or he's big enough to where he really dictates what a lot of people do, or if they'll buy something or not. Now, they kind of lucked out because it ended up being a fantastic game, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is something that has to do with the publisher. It doesn't really have anything to do with the developer. Most people pretty much everybody thinks EA's the devil, and that's all Warner Brothers is in this scenario, is the publisher, like EA's the publisher.
But they're the ones that gave it to them. It
Yeah,
wasn't
exactly.
anyone else.
Right.
Now-
But that's what I'm saying. It was their marketing, the publisher's marketing department that decides to do this. It wasn't the studio, it wasn't the guys making the game. I mean, that doesn't really matter much in this instance. I'm just saying that, you know, it was a bad decision by somebody that didn't know if the game was going to be good or not. Because they were probably thinking, man, just about every other licensed video game ever has sucked, and this one probably will too. Well, it ended up not sucking. It ended up being quite possibly one of the best games that came out that year. Not quite possibly. it could quite possibly be the best game that came out that year, because it is one of the few games in the past 5 years that has held my attention long enough that I wanted to do everything.
Yeah, same here.
I remember,
Eric, when did you play it?
I didn't.
Oh. But what's your view? Like, I mean, I'm a YouTuber and you're a YouTuber, so if you're in, I'm kind of, if you look at YouTubers like Boogie, for example, Boogie2988, he gets offered tons of stuff to review, and he gets money for it, and he discloses that to the people that watches him. But he feels that he needs to, and he makes sure that what he says, he can say whatever the hell he wants about whatever game's given to him. Myself, if I was ever given the opportunity, I would definitely make sure that I could say bad things about a game if it really pissed me off.
Yeah, if I remember that video Boogie said that companies will say review this game, but you can't say anything bad about it, and he won't do those kinds of reviews or anything like that. He'll just flat out say no. He has total full control of what he says about that game or whatever he's reviewing.
And PewDiePie does too. I mean, he's the one that accepted the deal.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, what kind of person is PewDiePie to accept a deal? And I get that, like,
what do you want?
Well, I mean, like, the thing is that it's not like, if Warner Brothers came to me and they were like, we'll give you $1 million to review this game, but you can't say anything bad, it'd be hard.
It's $1 million, but we know that's not what they gave.
But then again, PewDiePie makes so much money that he's kind of past that point where you offer him a certain amount of money, it won't make that big of a difference to his pocketbook.
Well, I mean, I don't know what PewDiePie's financials are, but
so he's over 40 million.
Well, I mean, that's fine in Indy. That's fine in Indy, but you don't know what his mindset is, because some people that have $40 million, they'll bend down and pick up a penny. So if they pay him $30,000, that's a drop in the bucket to him, but it's $30,000 more than what he had. So it's all this is on PewDiePie more than it is the gaming company. Now the FTC is going to go after the company. The FTC, I don't even think the FTC can go after PewDiePie in any way at all, period, because one, he's not in the United States, is he?
No.
And he's
well, no, he is now. He's based in the U.S. He's over in California, I think.
Okay, well, if he's in California, but this is a YouTube video, PewDiePie's not actually selling anything. Now, they could probably get him on the old Radio Payola thing, where you receive money or you receive like products or goods or services for getting on the air and talking good about a company, and that company gives you stuff for free. It's kind of like a work deal. It's not the same as a company sending a radio jock a free product. It's like under the table dealings. It's kind of hard to explain the difference between the two, but maybe they get him for something like that possibly. But it sounds like they're just going after Warner Brothers anyway. Well, because that's the company that. It's kind of funny. All right, who was actually being deceptive? Was Warner Brothers being deceptive, or was PewDiePie being deceptive?
So PewDiePie was being deceptive based on what Warner Brothers contracted him to do.
But he doesn't have to do what Warner Brothers wants him to.
If he signs that contract, he does. The contract says that he has to do one thing.
What was Warner Brothers going to do to him if he didn't sign the contract?
They could sue him because he
if he didn't sign the contract, they couldn't sue him.
Right. So
that's what I'm saying.
But it's on FTC guidelines. They're more worried about what the contract says than what happened.
Right, but PewDiePie entered into that contract. So that's what I'm saying is, okay, well, let's just agree that both parties did something wrong here. But,
PewDiePie was on much. He was wrong on much larger level because he
Yes.
reaches so many people.
He is
agree with
actually
you.
the one. He is actually the one that deceived his viewers. He deceived his subscribers and the viewers that watch his videos.
Right,
Warner
there-
Brothers did not.
And there's not any disagreement there.
Yeah, that's all I was saying. I wasn't saying that he's the one that chose to enter in the agreement. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Warner Brothers could sue him after the fact if he didn't do that after signing the contract, I guess. But obviously now we know that it probably would have been thrown out of court because it was an illegal, clause in the contract anyway.
Right. And I mean, I haven't read through the whole story, so I can't say for sure that PewDiePie isn't getting punished for this at all.
Oh no.
You know, I could kind of care less. I couldn't care less. I mean, and it's one of those things where, to me, I only care about it because it's kind of like if he signed this contract knowing what was in it, and then he did what was in this contract, then it's kind of like you have more subscribers than anyone else on YouTube, and you're deceiving them because of something that you don't necessarily even need. You know,
What you need, what you want, blah blah blah. I'm not going. I mean that you all get off into that stuff. Doesn't matter. The whole point is that he deceived his followers. He deceived. It doesn't matter whether it's perceived he needs what Warner Brothers gave him or not. The fact is that he deceived his viewers for whatever he got.
that's
the
what
end
I
of it.
just said.
No, I know, but you're adding that layer of does he need that whatever he got? That doesn't matter. That part of it doesn't matter. Is what I'm saying.
Well, but I'll be honest, as a dad and a husband, I have bills and I have debt. So yeah, whenever I'm
it makes it worse for him because he's already
I'm not
rich?
saying that's okay. I'm saying that you'll have that in the back of your mind that it's like, this could solve a lot of your problems.
Yeah.
Now, if someone came to me and was like, hey, review this game and we'll give you $10, because that's basically what the deal was. $10 would make a difference for me because, let's be honest, I'm not rich by any means. I'm not poor neither, but $10 could help. The thing is, there's no way that I would sell my dignity for $10.
Would you sell your dignity for $1 million?
Now, if it made it where life was better for my family, that's where the question would be.
Well,
And
that's a personal.
I don't think I would, but until I'm put in that position, I don't know. It's
Right,
saying it's saying
now
the question
you know.
to you.
But now we all know that it doesn't matter what your answer is there. What we know now is that we don't know what the contracts gave him as payment. I mean, that may be in the story. I haven't read the whole story. But what we do know now is PewDiePie is willing to sell his integrity and his trust with his viewers for possibly little to nothing.
That's my whole point. That's what I've been saying, and you've been coming back at me for some reason. I don't know why.
Well, you asked me the question that I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't sell my integrity.
But I mean, I'm just being honest. It's like if someone offers me $1 million, that gives you so many possibilities in your life that I don't know what I would do. Yeah, I can sit here and say for $10,000 I wouldn't do it. For $100,000 I wouldn't do it. But $1 million, that's a lot of money. I'm just being honest, saying like, that would be hard to turn down.
I have to.
Already making I don't know about 40 million, but I thought it was like 12 or 13 million a year. Probably more because of endorsements or being on TV or.
Well, PewDiePie, the thing is, he has so much money that like whatever they offered him, it would have to be in the 10 million plus, which I doubt that's what they offered him. It was probably in the thousands that he got offered. That's my whole analogy of like, if they offered me $10, there's no way I would do it.
I don't know what the taxes are for people who make that much kind of money. So 40 million, I'd say half. Don't they take like half of it mostly?
Yeah, I mean, especially if it lives in California, it's going to be over half.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know his financial states or whatever, but
No matter what, to me, PewDiePie sold his integrity for something they didn't need.
yeah, I mean he doesn't need it.
Yeah, and just for the note, I agree with Jonathan R. What he said.
PewDiePie's butt.
I agree. I agree completely. Now, one thing is, so the PewDiePie thing actually seems kind of small whenever it comes to my next topic, which, Eric, you know a little bit about. TJ, you don't know that much about. It's the whole T. Martin and Syndicate CSGO betting website fiasco.
Okay.
So, TJ, to kind of bring everything together, T. Martin is a YouTuber that has, what, like 3-4 million viewers on one channel, 2 million on the other. We can go ahead and assume that's the same people. Now, Syndicate has another 2 million plus. I believe it's 2 million plus. It might be a million. It doesn't really matter. One thing is that in the States, it's illegal for kids to bet, right?
Yes.
And these betting websites, I've done it. I've done it for stream, and I've done it just for the fact of streaming. Now, what was going on is that T. Martin has or it did have a video on YouTube of him saying like, hey, CSGO Lotto is this new site that I found, and I'm kind of in talks with them. Maybe I'll do some work with them in the future. But it's really cool. I did my first CSGO betting, and I won $69. Oh, it's so awesome. It's a cool feeling. And so he goes on and on to make all these videos of him betting on this site and winning all this money. Most of his viewers, most likely being under the age of 18, a lot of people have a problem with him leading kids to go bet, which I don't agree with. Anybody over the age of 18 leading kids to go bet, or nor under the age of 18. But there's no way on the internet that you can stop a kid from doing anything, right? It's kind of like the old porn sites. It's like, are you over 18? Why, yes, I am. You know?
I mean, I mean, you're right. I mean, that's all you can do on a website. I mean, if you're, they verify age and all that by credit card transaction or whatever it may be.
Now, CSGO Lotto, I've been on that site. I've bet on that site. I've won and I've lost on that site. I don't remember them having anything, but I could be wrong. Maybe they did have something that popped up. Let's say that they did. This is where my problem comes in, is that, so just like the Shadow of Mordor issue with PewDiePie, you have T. Martin. Now, T. Martin isn't he's not only the person deceiving his viewers like PewDiePie did, in my opinion, but he's also the person that owns CSGO Lotto. And he's owned it since day one. So he's lied to his viewers, and he didn't disclose this. FTC guidelines states that you must do this, especially on YouTube. This has become a huge thing ever since Machinima had their whole fiasco, 2 years ago?
I don't remember the Machinima thing.
So Machinima basically did the whole thing. Don't say anything to anybody that we're giving you these games, we'll give you this money, and you can't say anything bad about this product. Because Machinima was something that it's like they could grab YouTubers like me and have me do things for them, and they would get revenue from me, plus I would benefit from getting viewers from them, essentially. It's kind of like almost the thing that Eric, you're part of. You're part of, what's his name?
Eric's like, I'm my own man. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, he's a part of the whole group. Sam Masker, right? Or
Cinemasker?
not Sam Masker.
So you rolling with the nerd?
Yeah.
No, who's the guy that you're with though? Like you're on his website and all that other crap.
Oh, Gamester.
Yeah, Gamester. So he's part of like the Gamesters group, and you both benefit from. Basically, I don't think Gamester does the same thing that Machinima was doing because they would take like 60%. Anyway, let's get back to the whole Counter-Strike thing.
Gotcha.
Basically, these CSGO betting websites make millions of dollars per month. This
Sorry.
isn't anything new. It's fine. But the thing is, T. Martin and Syndicate both made videos and multiple videos, lots of videos of them betting on this site, and they control the site. So they can control if they win or not on top of everything else.
Yeah, everybody's trying to get rich quick. You know, gambling, I never agreed with any of that shit. I never agreed with any of the game wheel bullshit. It's online gambling. It's just not a good thing. You lose your money, you get hacked. Bad things can happen.
So I get the gambling part of it, but I mean, I'm more talking about what the people did.
Well, yeah, it was dishonest. They didn't tell that they owned the site.
Well, now they're facing pretty big stuff, and this hasn't.
Well, I mean, they
this
should.
this isn't something new. This has been going on for a while, not only with them but with other places. You've got other YouTubers coming out. Size Syndicate came out and said, "Oh yeah, I got contacted by this website. They said that they could make sure that I won this or that, and I just had to feature them." So this isn't anything new. And it's became such a big deal that Steam is actually making it where the bots that you would trade to, these bots are just like something that's coded where you make a trade to this bot would then put it on the website, essentially. And then a coin flip, let's say, TJ, you put something up, Eric, you put something up, a coin flip happens, then the winner gets everything. And then the site takes 10%. Or something like that. But the main thing is that not only did they just found the site, they founded the site. They have it registered as a business in California or something like that, Florida, and they never disclosed this. And with the power of the internet, you can go back to all their videos, and now it says, this is provided to you by CSGO Lotto, I own it. But if you do the Rewind Internet or something like that website, you can see that they just recently added that because of this whole ordeal that's going on. Now, my question to y'all is, what do you think should happen to people that do this type of stuff? Do you think that this is quite a bit more, in my mind, more important than what happened with Shadow of Mordor because of the fact that they're influencing, 10-year-old boys playing Counter-Strike Go. Now,
Well, I mean,
to me, I don't think necessarily that they should be responsible for something like that because there's not much that you can do in that.
no, I agree with you on that.
But they can influence these kids to go and bet. It's kind of like a flip-flop thing for me. It's kind of like at the end of the day, parents can't make sure that their kids don't go to a website. But would that kid probably wouldn't have gone to that website if it wasn't for their favorite YouTuber constantly winning big skins and, large amounts of cash on these sites.
Well, as an IT person, I'd probably be paying attention to what my kid's watching to make sure it's approved.
Yeah.
This isn't a question on parenting. This is a
Well,
question
I mean,
on...
It is kind of a question on parenting because you can't I mean, what the dude did was, I mean, it sounds like incredibly illegal,
Yes.
you know, on like
Yes.
many different levels. I mean, does the fact that he didn't say parents get your or kids get your parents' permission, does that add a new level of the illegality of it? I don't know. I don't know what the laws are on things like this. I mean, I'm sure there's probably something there. Does it make it worse? Yes, but Eric's right. You know, you can't make, which they try their hardest, but you can't make a law for every situation. You know,
Right.
at some point in time, you know, parents do have to take, you know, some responsibility in this. Now, I'm pretty sure that there's so many different ways this is illegal that, like,
User
I
joined your
don't
channel.
know if there's much more that we can say than,
You teach
you
me.
know, do we agree that
Disconnected.
he's, I mean, just bad in every type of way? I mean, for doing what he did.
As far as I remember, is online gambling is illegal.
Yeah,
Well,
it's supposed
okay,
to be.
so a lot of these places get away with it because it's based in Scandinavia or something like that. So there's ways around that. It's just like how politicians get away with murder type of shit. But it's to me, this T. Martin guy, he's the lowest form of scum, in my opinion. It's not only did he. It's one of those things. If he was in PewDiePie's position, PewDiePie, I just don't like the guy. I can't stand to watch him more than 10 minutes because I find him annoying. Now, do I despise the guy? No, because he's just another person. Now, whenever it comes to this situation, I kind of despise this guy for having the influence to do what he did and do it knowingly and not disclosing the information. Now, it's more along the lines of there's so much that he should have done and he didn't do, and then whenever he got caught doing it, he came out and says like, oh, I've always said this, I've always said that. He lied about doing it. I didn't say that to y'all, so I mean, that's
Well,
my
I
new
mean-
info for you. But I guess to me, it's more of a, is he a good person? No, in my mind, you know. Now, in your own opinion, TJ, what do you think should happen to him?
I mean,
Should he relinquish all the money they made from the website and give it to the people that lost on his website, betting against him only?
I mean, that's like, you're talking about like what could he do to try to make it right type thing. I mean, what's going to happen is if it's illegal, for one, there's already guidelines set up in the laws. What's going to happen? There's going to be, you know, of course there'll be, I'm sure, you know, what do you call it? Golly, that just went blank. Mine just went blank. Appeals. There'll be appeals to whatever is decided. Like if he's found guilty of anything, there'll be appeals and everything else. What's going to happen is that there's going to have to be a class action lawsuit basically brought against the guy of all the users that use the site, and any money that he made more than likely is going to get frozen if he gets charged, and he could find himself having to repay a lawsuit. Not to mention fines that are going to be fined. In some instances, whenever you commit a crime against somebody else, depending on the laws, whether it be, you know, federal, state, or local, sometime whenever you break those laws and you get found guilty or you admit guilt, you know, part of the punishment is the repayment of whatever you took from someone else illegally.
Right.
So, what do I think should happen? I mean, I think that he should be charged and tried, and whatever happens from there happens. What in a fantasy world, what I think should happen? Yeah, he should. Whatever money is there should be given to, you know, people that lost or whatever. I guess you could say that. I mean, I didn't ever do the site type thing. I mean, it's like this. It's like whenever the big Nintendo World Championship cart happened on the
Game wheel.
yeah, the game wheel, the T-Screen game wheel. You know that
So
That
so
guy-
in a
that guy
brief-
was paying some people
Hey,
back,
hey,
but
hey.
not some people.
in brief paragraph for people that might not know, TJ, explain what happened with that.
Well, basically, what it was is that there's these sites on Facebook that they'll get a game, say, you know, a really high end, you know, game like say Nintendo World Championships is what this game was, but they'll have just, you know, games like Dracula X, or they'll have, you know, Aero Fighters, Hagane for Super Nintendo. These games that are worth, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1,000, or in the case of Nintendo World Championship, worth $13,000. What they'll do is they'll say, okay, this game's worth $10,000. We want to make $1,000 or $2,000 off of this, so we're going to sell this game for $12,000. We need to sell $12,000 worth of tickets. It's basically a raffle, is all it is. They get on and say, okay, we're going to sell tickets at, I think in the case of that game, it's $25 a piece. Sometimes they're higher if they do what they call high roller wheels, where they'll do tickets at $100 a piece. If they did tickets at $100 a piece, you know, basically there's 120 tickets at $100 a piece. They sell those tickets, and then they use a list randomizer on the web, roll the names in the list randomizer. Whoever gets picked as the top person wins the game. So potentially you could get a $12,000 game for, you know,
20
whatever.
bucks.
Well, actually it was 1,000 people at $100 a pop. So I said, what I said earlier would have only come up to 1,200, but you get the point. Basically, It's just a raffle. Like you go to, you know, your school has a raffle for, say, a movie or something for charity. That's all. That's why all the raffles are usually by law of the state, like here in the state of Texas, is they're only charities can do them. There's a bunch of like guidelines, and you can't do it that often. So, in essence, it's illegal what they do. So,
Right.
What's up, James? And Ryan's putting poo in there.
What's up, James? What's up, Brian? So, Eric, what do you think should happen to him?
I don't know. Lock him up, throw away the key.
Now, do you think jail time's a possibility for these guys?
You know, again, it's gambling. You're scamming people.
you're breaking a law. There's a law that has a set, guideline as to what your punishment can be for what you do.
Right, but I'm asking, like, in your personal opinion, what should happen to him? TJ, like, what if you could make the judgment, what would you call?
If he was guilty of it, depending on what he was guilty of, it depends on what all he was guilty of. If it was scamming people, he's stealing. It's no different than if he broke into somebody's house and stole their money right out of their wallet.
It's almost for sure that he scammed people.
No, well, I understand that, but what I'm saying is what level and all that other stuff. People got twisted about Bernie Madoff, right? He told people he was going to Bernie Madoff. Everybody pretty much knows he scammed people of their investment money. He told them that you give me $1,000, I'll return you $10,000. Blah blah blah. Those people lost, I think, on average of like 20-30% of their money that they invested with him. They got the other 60-70% back, but this guy was, like Eric said, it's illegal gambling. It's racketeering and kind of there's, I don't know about the money laundering aspects of it, but there's a bunch of different things this guy did in order to scam some kids out of their
To you, TJ, what would you do with him?
Shoot him in the head. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you're
I'd say prison time, because you know why? The greater the offense, the less people that it will do it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely prison time without a doubt. I don't know what the guidelines are for that. 5 years, I'm sure, is probably like a minimum on something of that nature, unless stemming back from the 30s, whenever this type of thing was prevalent in like Chicago, and they kept upping and upping and upping the minimum sentences. That he could face. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know the laws. He could face 10 years in prison for all I know.
Bottom line, any kind of gambling online, whether it's Game Wheels or the CS:GO stuff, just don't do it. It's illegal, and people who are trying to do this, obviously they're trying to make a quick buck or they're scammers. Just don't do it. And if there's a harsher penalty for these kinds of things, less people will do it.
now. I'll put it to you this way: what happened with T-Scran or whatever? There's no way that he even came close to what this guy made in a month.
No.
And all the time that he did the wheels, there's no way that he even came close to what T. Martin and Syndicate have done.
No, I mean it's in T. Martin and Syndicate. They come nowhere close to what somebody like John Gotti, made in his illegal dealings. It doesn't matter
It's
the
true.
level.
It's
It's
true.
just illegal.
Right. And now, what we talked about it before with the whole children aspect of it. I mean, that to me it makes it worse, but it's kind of like you kind of can't fault the guy for it also. And that's where it's the flip-flop for me, I think he should be sent away to jail, for sure. Both of them should.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah, I mean the children aspect of it. This is what happened. He was preying on children. There may not be anything in the law that because he was targeting children that it increases it. But what something
Well,
like that does is whenever the jury or the judge is setting the sentence, they go, "What, dude? You were screwing with some kids. You screwed kids over. We're not going to be lenient on you. We're going to give you some extra for it."
oh, right. But the bad thing is that there's no guarantee that he was. But I mean, if you've got 2.9 to 4.9 million people that watch your channel, you can guarantee, especially whenever it comes to CS:GO, a lot of those are under 18. Now, how many actually went to the site? There's no telling, and I think that's where the law could kind of be at fault if they did charge him for it. But then again, they couldn't be, because it's almost guaranteed that these kids went and bet away their skins that their mom and dad paid money to get them those skins.
Right there, that should see, hey, this is a gambling website, and you should know online gambling is illegal. What are you doing?
Yeah. Well, I mean that's another thing too. Eric is making a point. Okay, the kids can't be really, at fault for if they went to the website, right?
Yeah,
But anybody 18 and over, they were committing,
Right.
a crime too. So
Well, the thing is, that's where it kind of gets iffy, because supposedly the site's not even in the U.S., blah, blah, blah,
And that's how they get around it. It's
Right,
illegal.
but that's the betting side of it. And I don't think that's what's necessarily on the table here. It's the whole kid aspect, and that's the whole fraud aspect, and that's the whole him not disclosing with FTC or whatever aspect of it. Those are the main things that's on the table. And a lot of people care about the children. I do too, but it's one of those things where, is it really their fault?
the kids are the people that did it.
Well, no, their fault that the kids went there.
Yeah, it's their
Because-
fault that the kids went there because they gave them a pathway to do it, and they didn't put any safeguards to keep kids from doing it.
But then again, that's kind of like, you might as well go ahead and charge 90% of the porn sites out there.
Well, I mean, at least they put a button that says I'm 18 or
Well,
I'm,
that's what I'm saying. I can't remember for sure if there was a button or not. when going to the site.
Another thing too is do not forget, porn is not illegal.
Right.
But it's illegal to elicit porn to a minor.
But they're not eliciting in the porn to a minor.
The minor seeking out the porn.
Well, then you can say that about every cable
providing it.
company in the country, and kids sitting with the scrambled
Right,
signal
and
waiting for a boob to
that's
come
my
up.
point with
And
this.
it goes back to parenting.
That's
Yeah,
my point
parent-
with the whole betting site. Is it more on the parents' fault that the kids were able to go there?
Yes, yes, and that's what the courts would see too. I mean, there are some common sense things that are still left around, that have always been common sense. There's less of it nowadays, but that's just one of those things. Is like, if you've got a porn website or whatever, and a kid goes to it, you've got a thing saying, hey, if you're under 18, you shouldn't be here. Go away. If they don't go away, that's on the parents at that point.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there would be no porn sites because every teenager gets on porn sites.
Eric still does.
Since the internet was started.
So, in chat, James, I'm taking us completely off this subject because I think we could probably discuss it for a while.
I think we can only beat it beat it like a dead horse at this point.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a lot of other people have too. I just wanted y'all's opinion on it. All right, so James brings up the whole retro Nintendo that's coming out. He says it can probably be hacked to have ROMs on it. My question is, how long do y'all think before someone comes out with a hacked version? I'm thinking within the first week, easy.
It depends on what platform it runs on. If it runs on a Android platform, then yeah, it won't be long. We know it's not going to be an iOS platform. More than likely, it's going to be an ARM and Android platform. It could possibly be some proprietary thing from Nintendo, like they use on their Wii consoles, because it's not that processor intensive to run NES games.
Right.
And we all know how long it takes them to jailbreak or hack or whatever you want to call it on the Wii. The original Wii, it didn't take them that long to figure that out.
Somebody will figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be me.
No. I don't have time. Ain't nobody has time for that.
I kind of secretly hope somewhere deep down in down in my gut down in here, my big old gut, is that Nintendo puts an SD card slot on the inside of it, and whenever you open it up, you can just add some ROMs. But it's probably not going to happen.
No, probably not.
But basically, what I'm hoping is there's a Raspberry Pi stuck in there.
And Ryder knows this. I didn't like the Raspberry Pi playing NES games on there and so forth. Using the PS3 controller, it just like playing Punch Out. It's just there's this tiny bit of lag that just bugged me, and I can beat Tyson no problem on a regular Nintendo. There's no lag. First time, I don't even have to practice. When I do the Raspberry Pi, there's a lag and always lose. And I was playing Demon's Crest on there. That there was a lag on there. I just didn't like how it played on the Raspberry Pi. It's cool to have games on there, but
yeah, how well does it work? The problem that you get into is where is the lag introduced? It could be in the TV. Is it in the controller? Yeah. Like whenever I play, like I've been messing around with my Raspberry Pi again and with RetroArch and all that on it. And like on my projector system, there's zero lag. You can hook an NES up to like an LCD TV, and there's some input lag unless you put it on game mode or turn off the movie functions and all that. But on my projector, you can hook an NES or Super Nintendo. It doesn't matter. There's no input lag. It's like playing it on a CRT TV. So it's going to be it could possibly be the same problem as what I'm getting at with this retro Nintendo redo that they're doing. There could be a possible issue there, but my guess is that since it's got an HDMI port, it's going to be able to talk to the TV basically and figure out the lag, latency times and everything.
Yeah.
You may still have to turn your TV on game mode in order to reduce, the input lag.
And then see with the remote controller if it's actually one of these, controllers. Is it?
Well, there's not there's not going to be any input lag between the controller and the machine. We know that because it's a hardwire controller
Yeah.
into the machine. So there's not going to be any input lag introduced there. All the input lag will be on the video side.
I'm talking about the actual feel. So like,
I'm sorry, I didn't understand what you're
this
talking
has some, it's not cheaply made, and I've seen those the third-party controllers that make it look like this, but it's like cheap plastic. The buttons suck on it, and the arrow, the D-pads are good.
I mean, like I said, this isn't a Nintendo product. This is not, the what are those other ones called again?
I don't know, retro classic something.
I can't remember well, at any point, it's not made by somebody else. This is a Nintendo product. Now, it may be made by somebody else, but it's a licensed product from Nintendo. So, Nintendo historically, has had a pretty good quality control, handle on products that were licensed.
Look at the rocker.
Huh?
Look at the rolling rocker.
Yeah, but the rolling rocker didn't explode as soon as you stood on it. It's what I'm getting at.
They licensed it, but it wasn't a good product.
It was a bad idea, period. So was by the way, so was the Power Glove.
Well,
Flashback console. Ryan Baker just said
Because they
flashback.
license it doesn't mean it'll be good.
No, I'm not saying it's going to be good. I'm saying that there should be some quality to the product itself.
Most likely, we're not going to see
build
any
of the
lag.
product. That's what I'm talking about. Now, if Nintendo themselves is actually making this and they're not outsourcing it to a different company, I mean, it's one thing to have the Rolling Rocker controller that was made by whoever. I don't remember who it was made by. Licensed by Nintendo. It's a totally different thing for Nintendo to have their name on it.
Yeah.
It's not often that Nintendo puts their actual red logo on something, calls it theirs, and it's completely terrible.
Yeah.
Besides the Power Glove.
Well, we'll see what happens when it comes out. I mean, I'm excited for it because I can, again, bring it to a hotel, like we go to a convention, play all the classic stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like
Which if we can get the ROMs on it, then that's going to be pretty much what people will do for sure.
Yeah, I mean this opens up. Is this system? Is it just taking the proprietary software that they use on the Wii and the Wii U on their virtual console and sticking it in a little box, or are they making a system that is basically, because since it's Nintendo and they can do this, they have basically put a Nintendo on a system on a chip. So if you get ROMs and you can put ROMs on this thing, it plays games 100% faithfully with HDMI output. I mean, it's all going to be up how this thing's built.
Yeah. Somebody will find out what's going on.
Like, could this possibly be an official Nintendo emulator? And once you figure out how to put ROMs on it, you have a 100% faithful, gameplay.
Yeah.
Like you're sticking a cart in an NES.
Oh yeah.
That's why I'd be curious to see it with the Super Nintendo, if they do a Super Nintendo one, or even an N64 one.
I bet they just wait until they see the sales on this one.
Yeah. I'm sure it's going to sell like hotcakes. I mean, the box looks just like the original box. I mean, I would just get it just to have it display.
I'm basically with you. It's $60. I'll probably buy one just for the hell for having it, I mean, I buy stuff a lot more expensive than that just to have it for some reason.
That's how much a new game costs. $60.
You do that with a lot of stuff, TJ.
Yeah, I know. So a $60, official, flashback console basically from Nintendo themselves. It's, those flashback consoles, they get released at $40. This is just $20 more for a Nintendo product. It's not. People are going to buy it. Anybody right now that's saying, "Oh, it's a stupid idea" or whatever, I say, wait. Let's see how many of those people end up buying them.
Ryan Baker says, I heard that there will be 30 games download on the Nintendo system. Yes, there will be
Yeah.
games on there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there's and good games too. We went through. You went through the list earlier, Eric, but basically, Super Mario Brothers is all three of them on there.
Yeah, trilogy on there. Both Zelda, Mega Man 2, Super C, Balloon Fight, Punch Out featuring Mr. Dream.
Who cares about Balloon Fight? Let's be honest.
I like Balloon Fight. It's a fun game. It's like Joust, but it's balloons.
Yeah.
It's balloons.
Balloon. You got Gradius, which is an awesome Konami game. You got Castlevania 1 and 2, not 3 for some reason. That's I don't know why they didn't include that one.
And so they could have put 3 on there with the expanded sound.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but they're all good quality titles. Mario Brothers, the original Mario Brothers, they have that on there. Yeah, I mean it's all good stuff. I mean it's not a bad game on there.
Yeah, I think it's kind of odd that they didn't. And is it odd? Is it not? I don't know. It's kind of odd that they didn't, make some way where you could add more games later.
Yeah.
That's already been stated by them. It's these 30 games, and this is it.
I'm thinking this is a test run. They're going to see how this turns out, and then in the future, if this thing sells, then they'll probably do something like that. I would bet.
I bet if this thing sells, they'll come out with the Super Nintendo version that comes with probably like 20 of their best Super Nintendo games. And then they'll probably come out with another NES one that's got 50 games instead of 30 or something like that.
Or you can put your cartridges in there.
Yeah. Now, this is.
See, that's where they would make the real money, is if they came out with this system with 30 games preloaded and you could play your old games, they would instantly have me sold on one for sure.
Oh yeah, everybody would buy one. It would completely kill the secondary console market. Not having an original NES, because I've seen some posts today. This thing's going to kill the price of the NES. No, this thing's not going to kill the price of an NES.
Unless if they make it loadable,
But
it's not going to kill it.
I don't even think it'd kill the price of an NES. Then it might drop it by, what are they going for now, Loose? Like $50? 45, 50?
I don't know. I've got 10 of them in my truck right now.
Well, what I'm saying is that if you get one working and you sell it to somebody, and I'm not talking about to one of us, I'm talking about you're out there and you just sell it to somebody. I think people are selling them, can sell it. Now, there's people that are paying $100 for an old console with the gun, Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt, and 2 controllers. I mean, there are actually people out there paying $100 for an old console because they don't know any better. And that's the thing, is Nintendo is releasing that. Now, it might kill that market.
That's exactly probably what they're talking about. It's going to kill that market. The people that will actually spend that extra money to go back and play the games that they played whenever they were a kid, it's going to kill that market completely.
And
It probably will.
The key is, if they would have made this thing with just components, I don't think it would sell. They got the HDMI on there, which is what a lot of people have nowadays, is the flat screen TVs. That is very important that they did that. That was a smart.
Now, Nintendo, I would be impressed if they came out with a way where you could use a freaking gun with TVs now. That would be amazing.
They had, well, for arcade games, you can get them in Japan, but they're really expensive, like for arcade machines. But
Yeah,
again,
but that's like, I'm talking about like your light gun game, so.
that's what I'm talking about. So, like House of the Dead it's
You're breaking out, bud.
the House of the Dead.
You're still breaking out. Your audio is shit.
Oh yeah, I'm kind of.
It's
Your
okay.
forehead is really smooth right now.
Yeah, I see I'm pixelated here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if you can hear me or not, Eric, but I know what you're talking about, because the Mission Confidential arcade that I have, it uses infrared lights to communicate with the gun instead of the gun shooting the screen and taking a quick picture of a flash on the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, see, if they came out with one like that for an NES based console, then you could put a lot of those good NES gun games on there, which I would buy it for $60. Then I would spend an extra 10 to 15 to get the gun attachment to play those games for sure. Because a lot of those games you were able to play with a controller anyway. Like Gumshoe is one of my favorite gun games for the NES.
Yeah. I got Blake's copy of Gunshoe here.
See,
It's got all over it.
I would love to play that game again.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean, I'm surprised that nobody has come up with a good solution on an emulation system. That's what I've been surprised about, you know. But to produce something that can read, you know, that can read and track the gun, I mean, there's a lot of, you know, cost associated with that. I'm sure one of those guns alone would cost $50-$60 easily.
Yeah.
James says you're spot on about the system requirements to run for K.
4K.
4K.
I keep picturing like K Jewelers for some
Yeah.
reason.
Damn flying here.
Yeah, I didn't have to do too much research on that. I just know what it takes to run 4K from personal experience here at the house, and how much horsepower it needs, and how much horsepower the current consoles don't have. I mean, they can't run 1080p games right now, so even the updated ones aren't going to be able to run 4K.
Yeah, but I'm excited about the that announcement about the mini NES. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I mean, and maybe the next one that they do make, I mean, it would be. That's what I'm saying. I'm guessing that this is a port of some kind of their virtual console from the Wii, or it's a Android or basically a Linux-based system running on an ARM processor. There's probably one of those two more than likely. If it was a system on a chip, and Nintendo took their proprietary, you know, engineering of the NES and turned it into a system on a chip, all they'd have to do is add a cart, and then you have 100%, you know, NES compatibility, because it is an NES at that point, output into 4K. It'd basically be like one of those $500 Nintendos that those guys are making.
Yeah.
But it would be brand new hardware. It wouldn't be old hardware refurbished in a new system.
Here's another thought too. Okay, so those high-end titles are on 30 games for that system. So you got Zelda. What's Zelda? 25. Zelda 2's 20. Mario 3's 20. That's going to bring the prices down of those games, the actual games themselves. And I think Nintendo is seeing that the retro market, that some of these games are selling for $100, $200. So think about it. If they do something, say this sells well, and they do something where it has all the games on there, that is going to crash the NES market, and then you're not going to have to pay $1,000 for a little Samson. You can just get it on this console.
I don't think that it will, because now you may be correct on the more common games like the Mario Brothers 3, Contras, the games like that are fairly easy to find still, that have gone up to $30, $20, $30, $40. The games in that range that they made millions of copies, and there's still plenty out there. Those may drop some in price. The little Samsons and the things that are much more rare, if some type of system was going to hurt the prices of those games, it would have already happened with the introduction of things like the RetroPie and the ability of even the Retron 5. You can download ROMs onto the Retron 5, and you don't even need the cart to play the
Not
games.
everybody knows that. I'm just talking about your average user who has no idea about retro.
Yeah, but the average user, really, if you think about it, isn't buying $1,000 little Samson anyway.
No, true.
I mean, we're talking about
I'm
we're
just
talking
thinking,
about guys and we're talking about guys that are in our realm at that point, where they're willing to spend, multiple hundreds of dollars on a game for one reason or another. And even then, I'm not one of those guys. I'm not going to go spend $1,200 on Little Samson, because I'm not going for a complete set, and I don't want to be a big baller.
Right.
So
I would never pay $1,000 either. I'm gonna find a grass out for $1.
right, but that's what you do. That's your thing.
Yeah.
You go hunt for that stuff. You've got your set of rules that you like to to go by, because you and Mo have your your Midwest Gamers channel, Retro Gamers channel, and that's what y'all do. Y'all find these games still at garage sales and things. And then you got people, like we know plenty of people that are willing to spend $1,000, $1,200 on a video game.
I just don't know why. Well, especially for Nintendo, because you can play it. I can play it right here on my computer for free.
Yeah. Yeah, but some people just want the physical cart, and that's why those games are so expensive.
It's a chip and some plastic.
Yeah.
Like $1,000. I couldn't do it. I could spend $1,000 on a lot something else.
I mean, I've had what high-end titles have I gotten my hands on over the years? I mean, I had Snow Brothers, right? Mm-hmm. Snow Brothers is I haven't been keeping up with the prices, but what does it go for? Like $200 bucks, $225, somewhere in that area.
Yeah,
That game's not worth $200 to play.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not if you found a Snow Brothers arcade machine, you're not plunking, $2 worth of quarters in it.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. At least Little Samson is a good game.
One thing is that we can see from this that could possibly benefit us as collectors is that we'll finally be able to go get games for a lot cheaper than what we could in the past.
Yes, possibly.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's
because basically you're taking like those super rare games. I'm not saying those go down, because those are games that only collectors go for.
well, I mean, there's so many different things that could cause the secondary video game market to crash. I mean, baseball cards, whenever I was a kid, was the big thing. In the 80s and the early 90s, baseball cards and even basketball cards and things like that. I mean, they got real big, and there's cards worth thousands of dollars that were brand new, basically. And then one day it was just the market was gone. Nobody cared about baseball cards anymore.
And it's going to happen to video games. Well, NES video games and Super
Possibly,
Nintendo.
I don't know. I mean, the main reason why this market is here now is because people my age, because we've gotten to the point where we have the extra money to spend, and we want to relive some of our childhood. That's the reason why we have movies today like Transformers and the new Voltron on Netflix. That's the reason why all these things are coming back, is because of people my age. Now, you being my brother, you got to experience most of all that. You didn't get to do the Voltron stuff, and Transformers was pretty much dead by the time you were born.
Right.
Or big enough to enjoy stuff like that.
Well, Voltron was still around until whenever I was 8 or so, maybe.
Yeah, but you weren't watching it, is what I'm saying. I mean, like whenever
well, it's like mine is Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, exactly. And I was on the like my age bracket. I was on kind of the tail end of Ninja Turtles, like the first basically season of the cartoon. Like I'm all in on Ninja Turtles, because that's what I remember. I didn't really care too much about the stuff after probably the second season, just because of my age at that point. I started actually caring about other things besides Ninja Turtles. Whereas whenever I was your age, whenever you were watching Ninja Turtles, I mean, I was all about Voltron, He-Man, G.I. Joe,
See, I never saw He-Man. I saw
Rainbow Bright, all of it.
My Little Pony.
I'm pretty sure that I saw Transformers, and I'm pretty sure I know I saw Voltron whenever I was younger, but Like,
See, I don't know. I'd have to look up the dates on it. I'm thinking that Voltron was pretty much off the air. I mean, it might have been like on some of the cartoon channels that we had whenever we lived in Gainesville and had cable. Because I grew up whenever there was only 3 channels on TV. Whenever I was young, like 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we got to move to town.
Right.
There was a
But
cable.
I remember Voltron.
Yeah,
I mean, it doesn't matter. Let's not bore people with.
Well, I
my
mean,
personal
I'm just wondering
childhood.
if you remember Voltron, or if, like Ron Baker says, his is Power Rangers. Power Rangers is a blatant ripoff of Voltron. Let's just get that out there right now.
Well, okay, Power Rangers. See. That's what's weird. Power Rangers is one of those things. Like our brother Blake, which is between me and TJ, loved Power Rangers. I didn't care for Power Rangers at all.
I just cared about the pink one. That's all I cared about.
You like that guy that was in that suit?
That was you.
That was a woman, man.
But then again,
Cats, that's was my thing. I like turtles.
yeah.
Thundercats is my favorite though. I love Thundercats.
Yeah, Thundercats was awesome.
Something about when he got that sword out and go thunder, Thundercats, oh, and the,
Yeah, I'd see all that stuff whenever I was there. It was just awesome.
get your blood pumping. You're like, you want to kick some ass?
Yeah, Kimberly.
But yeah, that was a Turtles. I had Voltron. I had a Voltron figure. I'm pretty sure I had some Transformers. I can't remember what I had. G.I. Joe I definitely had. But again, I couldn't remember the names if you told me. If you put one in front of me, like I remember the Ninja, the white Ninja with that little black specks all over them. I remember having that one. There's some twins I remember having, but I don't know their names. So I couldn't tell you their names at all for G.I. Joe. But He-Man, Thundercats, yeah, I can remember those guys, the names and what I had.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's things like G.I. Joe is one of those that, like, it was big in the 80s, and I loved it and everything. Ryan says Gargoyles. That was an awesome cartoon, too.
That was an awesome cartoon.
See, I'm old enough that, like, Gargoyles, the only reason that I know Gargoyles is because of you and Blake. Because we would sit in Gainesville and watch shows like that.
See, and this was an awesome cartoon. It was in Humanoids. And I think that was 86 or 87, if I'm not mistaken. This was like a horror cartoon, and I love horror movies. And the toy line for this, there wasn't too many toy lines that had 14-inch figures. And they had 3 of these. They had Tendril, this guy. They had Metlar, which is a demon-looking guy. And then Decompose, which was a dinosaur. And his rib cage open, you could put people inside of them and trap them as a jail thing. But this guy and one of the other ones were easy to get, but the one was harder to get. But this was like way ahead of its time, and it only had 13 episodes, and they canceled it.
Was it on network TV, or was it on one of the cable TV channels?
Just regular whatever He-Man was on.
Was it?
Yeah.
I probably watched it. I just don't remember it.
Yeah, the voice for Decompose was the guy who did Cobra Commander.
Oh, okay.
So that very scary voice. So
Maybe.
it was kind of scary for a kid.
Yeah, I need to check it out. No, I don't remember it or whatever. Yeah, my big thing was definitely Voltron and Transformers. Whenever I was Transformers and He-Man, we still got like the party plates and the party hats and all that from whenever I had I think it was my 5th or 6th birthday with He-Man, everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Those were the days.
Yeah, those were the good old days back then. But yeah, I mean, as far as like Transformers, like I had like Megatropolis. You probably don't remember that, do you, Ryder?
Well, I don't remember a whole lot due to head injuries.
Well, now this is before you started smashing your head against things and cutting
Well,
it up.
it doesn't matter. I still don't remember a whole lot before the head injuries. But hey, guys, it's 12:30, so let's call it. Eric, thanks for coming on the podcast.
The OP Podcast.
The OP what?
The OP podcast.
The OP podcast.
Ort
Oh.
Pro.
Ort Pro.
Yeah. But anyway,
I thought he was talking about old people.
I know. Because that's what I've been sitting here listening to two old people talking about fucking cartoons.
Yeah, and all you want to do is talk about video games. What a loser.
Oh,
But the
God.
old Arts podcast.
Oh my gosh.
You know, back in my day, I had all these toys and video games. Oh,
Although I do have to say, I didn't know that there was a new Voltron season on Netflix, so I kind of want to go watch that right now.
And you know what's great about Netflix series is that you get all the episodes all at one time.
Oh, I love it.
So you can watch all the episodes today.
That's right.
well, you got 7 people in the chat right now, so
Well,
thank you for all watching.
yeah, thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
I
Although,
don't think it's too bad for a first, like, hey, let's just throw this together right quick and jack with it.
that's true.
We would have done this a lot earlier tonight if I hadn't had to work on a trailer and eat some stuffed jalapenos at my mom and dad's.
Oh, is that from that
God.
one place?
Huh?
Is that from that one place that they order from? The jalapeno.
No. They no, they got a smoker.
Okay, y'all can talk about
It's
this
smoked
after we
all
shut
over.
this down.
Oh,
Good
come on.
God. Y'all go on for 30 more minutes about fucking stuffed jalapenos.
Hell yeah.
Anyway,
Yo,
Hey, we
hey,
should
did you
talk
know that
team
you know that you're jealous I got stuffed jalapenos?
I am.
I still got to talk about the TV stuff. I got to tell you about that app.
What?
You need to try out the app. It's called Kodi.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It only
Well-
goes on Apple or Android. Apple
Well,
too.
actually, you can put it on a Windows PC and a RetroPie and a Linux computer also.
Oh, yeah. Someone was telling me about that. But let's talk about that after I shut off the freaking podcast. Good God.
Are you sure you don't want to say anything else about video games before we shut
Oh,
down?
I had a lot of other stuff I wanted to talk about, but y'all freaking go off on your own little chats. Good God.
Save it for the next podcast.
Yeah, we
Anyway,
have to have things. We've got all kinds of things that we want to talk about, like what is opened and not open, or sealed and not sealed, things like that.
yeah. Okay, we can talk about those later, but not right now. I just want to turn off this
What's
freaking
your
podcast.
rarest game?
Yeah. Oh, do we want to do like
Okay, guys, thanks for coming to the podcast. And say while I keep on talking, thank you all so much. That was TJ, my brother, and Eric Schroba for the freaking Midwest Retro Cast. There they are. Let's see what they have to say.
what a dick?
Shut us.
Okay. So, do y'all want to say bye to everyone?
Yeah, you cut me off.
All right. Well, I'm Ryder. Thanks for watching. Go ahead.
You already cut us off. We're still live?
We're live still.
Yeah, he put us back up on the screen.
Oh, okay. Well, there's only, well,
Okay. Do y'all want to say bye, or do I have to cut you
I was
off?
waiting on Eric.
I,
That's Eric.
Eric Schroeder with the Midwest Retro Gamers. Y'all go check them out. I'll put them in the description below. But Eric, thanks for coming on the podcast, man.
oh,
I
sure.
appreciate it.
All right. Bye, everybody.
And I'm TJ Ortowski, the original Ort Bro.
All right. Thanks, guys.